What do you make of COP26, the Glasgow conference where India, Russia and China say they won't sign up to net zero by 2050? Scott Morrison shouldn't have done the same, should he? He should have waited to Glasgow, and perhaps Australia shouldn't have made that commitment either.
Well, isn't this a real position that we've all got in now with those three countries not committing, but Europe, North America and a whole series of other countries jumping in there because of the fear of what's going to happen with climate change. And you would have seen some of the programming about the concerns from the New York Metropolitan subway system, saying that they feel that 400 of their 429, if we've got the figures quite correct, stations in New York would be flooded in a normal weather event. So I think we have to balance up how we do this, and I think we also have to make sure that we are moving ahead, and we should keep engaging with those countries, make sure that they become party to it, because they have to be part of the solution. It's really quite critical.
But the point is that because they're not cutting emissions and they make up more than 40% of global emissions are going to continue to go up. So whatever Australia does is not going to affect the temperature. It's harming us, but there's no gain.
Look, I think on the gain side, I'll just go to that really important question on that, because there is a large part, as you say, 60% of the economies largely are going forward with making sure that we get a proper climate strategy. But also there's some real money and jobs being made for being some of the early starters in doing this. And I don't mean early starters where we have consequences for some of our key industries, but early starters sensibly thinking about it, sensibly investing in it, and giving a roadmap within Australia to business so they understand where it's heading. And I've seen a lot of the business commentators, and I've seen a lot of the business associations, and including the National Farmers Federation. They see these as critical steps to maintain markets overseas and also to gain markets overseas.
But the people making most of the money and getting most of the jobs out of this are China. China's making the solar panels and making the wind turbines, using our coal and iron ore to make them, increasing its emissions and charging us full dollar for all this renewable energy equipment. I mean, they seem to win both ways, and we only damage our own manufacturing industries, our own critical industries here.
Well, I think we've got the Rebuild Australia Fund, which the Deputy Opposition Leader and the Opposition Leader Albo and Richard Marles, they announced that there's billions of dollars we set aside, because I think your point's absolutely right. We have to be looking at our national sovereignty and value adding to our resources, because when we value add to our resources, often that means regional parts of our country get the opportunity for jobs, and they are often very well paid jobs.
Yeah, we have the bauxite, we have the iron ore, we have the coal, but somebody else makes the solar panels.